be Monday all day. It's the 23rd of the month of November, and thank you for being with us. This is the week of Thanksgiving. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kate Daniel, and we have a lot to be thankful for.
We do.
Don't we?
We certainly do. This is indeed Thanksgiving week, and thank you for that.
Yeah.
We're on an abbreviated week this week. We'll have today's program, of course, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and Thursday and Friday you will see an older program, a best of. We'll replay for you. Okay?
That's right. Very good.
So, are you set?
I'm set.
For everything?
I'm set for everything.
All right.
Not for Christmas. Don't go that way.
No,
but I'm
no.
set
Just
for Thanksgiving week.
Good.
Yes.
I think Thanksgiving may be my favorite holiday.
It's just so rushed. Everything is so rushed in our society. Every holiday, it's like you hurry up and you get through it and you move to the next one. So let's take a breather this week and enjoy all the things that we are thankful for.
There's so many things happening coming up soon.
There are.
For instance, Cooperative Extension Service of Wayne County sent me a flyer here.
Okay.
There's going to be, for the public, a Christmas festival and bazaar. Ooh, yeah. This is coming up on December 5th, the day of the Christmas parade.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard about this.
Well, this is brand new.
This is hot off the press,
Hot
folks.
off
From 10 to 2, there's going to be gifts, crafts, and food, and free activities for children. This is great.
Isn't it great? And you're the first to know about it.
That is great.
Yeah. Free activities for children.
Well, I mean, who's that? Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus.
I remember him.
That is great. That is great. So, what a great event to just learn about. It's going to be at the Wayne Center, right on Chestnut Street.
On December 5th, on Chestnut Street, starts at 10 a.m. Now, when does the Christmas parade starts
at 4?
So you'll have plenty of time.
10
o'clock till 2 o'clock at Wayne Center on Chestnut Street. That's where the Cooperative Extension Service is. There's a big auditorium there. And lots of stuff going on. That's going to be fun.
That is going to be great.
All right. There we go.
And you know, we've got tomorrow night is Lights Up Downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you've not been before, please make an effort to come downtown. You will see the streets lined up as the ceremonial flipping of the lights, so to speak, on downtown Goldsboro. And I know that last week they have put up the wreaths and the decor downtown, and the window shops are already looking incredible.
They are.
Elite Fashions, I saw last week, has put a Christmas tree dress mannequin. I don't know how to describe it. Just drive by there. Just drive by there.
Wait a minute. What does it look like?
I don't know how they've made it, but in the store window where they have mannequins displaying their clothes, there is a dress made out of greenery, like Christmas greenery, and it's like a strapless dress, and it bells out. And there's a big old red bow sash around the waist.
Wow.
It is awesome.
That is Christmassy.
It is wonderful. It's beautiful.
Christmas.
So, great job there. But
where is Elite Fashion?
Downtown. Right downtown.
On Walnut Street?
On Walnut Street.
On Walnut Street.
On Walnut Street.
Okay. All right.
So Downtown Lights Up is going to be right there at City Hall. There's going to be a lot of fun things. It is a free event. And bring your family and come down. It'll be great.
That will be great. All right, what do you have?
And then so we've talked about the bazaar that's happening on the 5th, which is the following week. Somehow, time is going by too fast.
I know it is.
That's Saturday morning from 10 to 2. You can attend that. And at 4 o'clock is the day of the Christmas parade. But here's the thing. So we do the bazaar from 10 to 2, the Christmas festival. And then at 2 o'clock, there's a special Christmas tour of churches the next day. See, this is why it takes two of us. Thank you for pointing that out. I was about to line up. I was about to jam pack your whole day. Let's talk about the 5th, which is the Saturday. You're going to go to the bazaar, and then you're going to go to the Christmas parade at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
Then you're going to take a breather. And then on Sunday, we want to see you back out. Thank you, Wayne Alley.
You're welcome.
There is a special Christmas tour of churches on Sunday, December 6th, from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Tickets are sold at the Wayne County Museum downtown for $10. Participating churches are St. Paul Methodist, First Baptist, Madison Avenue Baptist, First Christian, St. Stephen's Episcopal, and First Presbyterian.
Wow.
The circuit will start and end at the museum, and free light refreshments will be served at the museum at First Christian and First Presbyterian. So Museum Gift Shop is open for your holiday shopping. Again, that happens on Sunday, December 6th.
Which is actually the day after December 5th.
Just so happens.
Right, just so happens. Thank you.
Thanks for keeping me straight.
That's okay.
I get excited.
I
get
know,
excited.
I
I
know.
shared with my husband, I saw somebody post on Facebook something about, I don't mean to interrupt, I just get really excited.
Yes, exactly.
It's like the story of my life.
Yeah, okay.
I apologize.
No, don't apologize for anything. We're going to go to our interview. We'll be back after that. Today we welcome back to the studio Dr. Stephen Peters, Head of Psychology at Cherry Hospital. Glad you're with us.
Hey, thanks, Wayne. Always good to be here.
Man, it's good to see you there,
Yes,
Steve.
indeed.
How you doing?
Doing very well. Thank
Things
you.
are well at the hospital, I
Yes,
trust.
it is. It's
That's
busy times for us down at Cherry.
Yeah.
We're still looking ahead to getting into that new hospital somewhere this next few months.
Oh boy, that's good
And so
news.
that's getting pretty exciting.
That is getting exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, we'll cover that and talk about it when that happens.
Yes, indeed.
Looking forward to it. Okay, today I'd like to talk about a couple of things. I want to start out with the topic of self-image, self-esteem, if you will.
Sure, self-worth.
Yeah, what is that?
Sort of all of these things that we define ourselves as,
Yeah.
you know, that idea of who we are, who do we think we are, how do we feel about ourselves, I guess might be the best way to say it, to summarize it, is how do we feel about ourselves.
Why is there, some people have a problem with this. Why do they have a problem with that?
There's a couple different ways that how we feel about ourselves can get distorted and sort of cause us hardship. You know, we start back to like, and it's common terminology. We often hear this word. When you observe, you hear somebody say something, do something that it's not very something you wouldn't approve of. You would say, "Well, I was raised better than that," or "I was taught better than that."
Yeah.
Well, when we're little, we are sort of programmed to sort of what's expected of us, right? And so you sort of have that benchmark. This is what I'm supposed to be like. This is how I feel about things. This is how I think about things, and it's sort of as we're taught by our families for the most part.
Exactly. And this is not a natural phenomenon. This is what you're
It's a learning,
bred into you.
Yeah, as a product of development.
Okay.
You know, maturation, and that is sort of how we become who we are. You know, we're a product of our families for the most part. Then what's amazing is if you live according to that early program. Am I really living my life like that? Well, then we could feel pretty good about ourselves. We could feel proud of ourselves. If you're doing things that are inconsistent with that, I was taught better, I know better, but now I'm into some things that aren't so good. Well, that's going to cost you, right? You're going to value yourself down. You're going to devalue yourself. So there's sort of an emotional price to pay for some of those actions, and so that's where we talk about self-esteem and lower self-esteem. It's amazing when people, that idea, well, shouldn't you feel bad when you do bad things?
You do bad things, yeah.
Sometimes I'm called over to correctional settings or jails, and sometimes the concern is, well, this guy feels bad about himself. Well, maybe he should. Maybe that's a healthy thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you've done some bad things and you don't feel bad about it, that's kind of a concern.
That is a problem.
That doesn't sort of make sense, does it? That you would feel, you know, we talk about it as, well, you have remorse. Do you recognize and are you feeling the impact of sort of where your actions weren't where society, you know, calls for?
But now this is not a wiring or a circuit problem in the brain, is it?
It's all software.
Is it?
Yeah,
Really?
It seems to be how we're taught, and then how we identify ourselves.
But now, if let's take Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Okay, good case right there, because his parents were just absolutely wonderful people.
Yeah. Yes.
You would think, and we
Yeah.
have no reason to think otherwise.
Yeah, and that's how they're portrayed. You know, how
Yeah.
at least how they're presented in the information that's out there.
Yeah,
is
but
that
he
they
had
were
a
fine
wire
people.
break or something.
Yeah, so there were other influences, probably very strong influences on his development, other than his parents, obviously. That somewhere along the line, it would almost have to be that he pulled away from his parents and chose to identify and relate and and take into his identity other influences, such that his influences became very distant from them in many respects, probably from very early on, looks like. What's interesting is if your self-image, your self-appraisal, your identity is altered that way, and then your actions are still consistent with it, your self-esteem could be fine, because you're living according to the program. You're living as prescribed. So what kind of contrast is there between that early identity formation and how somebody's really living their life? If it's consistent, if you're on target, that person could say, wait, I feel pretty good about things. Now, that's kind of for the rest of us would be a distortion, because they should be feeling bad about the behavior and actions that he did, some of the horrible things that a person could do. But they wouldn't have much remorse about it. They wouldn't feel bad about it, because it's consistent with how he sees himself.
So they don't have, this person does not have a problem with their self-image or self-worth.
Right, because it's consistent.
Consistent with
it's all about are you living consistent with who you think you are? You know, that idea.
Right.
And so there's various ways that can get distorted. Some people compensate, who are struggling and not feeling very well, feeling maybe depressed. They're devaluing a lot of aspects of themselves, and at the same time, then could compensate for that by maybe overvaluing and looking more self-focused and self-centered in some respects, when really they're covering up insecurity is really what it's about.
Okay, a chicken and egg question.
Yeah.
All right. Depression, self-image. But does one lead to the other?
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand. It's
Does?
probably the same kind of thing. Certainly, some of the people who are depressed often want to withdraw, pull back from other people, for example, and then so you feel lonely and isolated, and you kind of long maybe to have more friendships. Well, the more you withdraw, that's hard to do. So you pull yourself away from possible good experiences. And so the more good experiences you have, that would pull up your self-esteem, probably. And so it's a cycle. Whether I'm not sure what starts that cycle, but it's definitely a cycle.
So if it's well defined and it's understood that a person is suffering or affected by low self-esteem, what do they do? Is there medication? Is that needed, or is there just a good talking to?
Well, a lot of talking to and a lot of listening.
Yeah.
Not so much talking as listening.
Listening to the person?
Yeah, let them talk and let them describe what it is they're struggling with.
Okay.
You know, what is their self-appraisal? You know, how do they see things? How do they feel about themselves?
What does this person think is wrong with them?
Yeah, and what kind of distortions might they be? Some assumptions they're making about themselves that then perpetuate that cycle. Okay. Maybe they've concluded some inadequacies about themselves that may be pretty big distortions. Because they understand how self-defeating their life has been, for example. And so they're blaming themselves. When really there's no point in blaming yourself. It's recognizing those patterns and then trying to make choices that are healthier.
Yeah. Does a person in that situation ever get to the point of harming themselves?
Sometimes it can, because it's a time of desperation. It can be. And where somebody could be so discouraged and so low that they would consider those kind of drastic actions. And so that does occur sometimes, unfortunately. For a lot of folks in that situation, it's interesting that it's a very time-limited sort of decision-making phase. I think of it as an emotional thunderstorm, that deeper depression, the suicidal thinking. It's like a thunderstorm that runs into town. If you can just hang on for a while, seek some shelter, get some support, sunshine comes out.
Right.
And maybe within a very short few days, things can look much better.
Turn around.
But in the darkest part of the storm, it can look pretty bleak and kind of scary.
Is there ever outside sources that can cause this to happen? Perhaps a bad diet, or perhaps a hit on the head, or something like that.
Yeah, there are a lot of medical conditions.
Ah, okay.
You know, sort of getting sometimes when there is a catastrophic medical illness, can be quite a blow to somebody's, you know, expectations of their life, what they think they can manage. So it's pretty devastating to get those kind of what we call catastrophic medical diagnoses. And that's just overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
And those are folks who need a lot of support, need to talk that through, how there is hope to get past those times, kind of to be realistic about the outcomes of a medical diagnosis that way.
Should a person try to put a scale on this to say, well, once I reach a 3 or a 4, then I need to go seek help. But up until that point, I don't need any help.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody struggles. I mean, life is hard, right? There's a certain amount of anguish, decision-making trouble, stress.
Yeah.
That life, it can be a stressful process. And as long as you're managing it, you're taking care of business. But if some of your friends are reaching out to you and say, hey, I'm a little worried about you, I haven't seen you in a while, or you seem to be down, you need to take some of that in as feedback, that maybe they're noticing some things. I'm noticing it, but I didn't think anybody else noticed it. If it gets to the point where they're noticing, your family, your friends, other folks are noticing and they're telling you that they're concerned, you need to take that to heart. And maybe it's time to get out the phone book, if we still have those. Maybe get on the internet, get to your family doctor, your family physician, and say, listen, I think I need somebody to talk to. There's just so much going on. I need to get some ideas and talk to somebody, and they'll point you in the right direction.
And perhaps this time of year, some people may be more affected.
Sure.
Coming up on the holidays.
We're fast approaching the holidays, no doubt, and it's a time of a lot of expectation, a lot of anticipation, and sometimes those expectations can be both overly stated to us, or we might underestimate them based on one's mental framework at the time. If you're already kind of down and out, you may not be in the mood to celebrate the holidays much. But if you would let yourself enjoy the holidays, sort of embrace the spirit of the holidays, you might enjoy that. It might pull you up a bit. Although if you overly expect too much, you might be disappointed. So to be realistic about the holidays.
Do people bring this on themselves? Do they is it family and friends, acquaintances that expect you to do certain things, and you say, oh, here we go again?
Yeah.
It's too much. I just can't handle it.
Yeah, I think some of that happens, but that's where you have to be realistic about what do you want to be a part of, what's healthy, what you're available to do, and then let those expectations be known. You have to ask yourself, am I doing everything that I can, doing my part to participate in the holidays? But don't overextend yourself. You'll disappoint yourself. It won't turn out well, and there's no point in setting yourself up that way.
Do you need to practice saying no?
Sometimes.
Yeah. You know, I can't do that.
We all know those people that are the first ones to volunteer, and then can get overextended, and now they're doing too much, and by the time the holidays are over, I mean, they're pretty exhausted and wore out. Now, if you enjoy that, and it's very rewarding, thank goodness that we have people that like doing that. You know, they're ones that are always first to help out. But even they have to be kind of heed a word of caution that you don't want to overdo, and make sure that they're taking time for themselves and their families and what they want to do for the holidays.
Okay, playing the devil's advocate here, is it possible that perhaps some people say, yeah, I really love to do this, I want to do it, and they do overextend themselves to the point perhaps it could become an issue of affecting their health?
Yeah, I mean, you could start worrying about it too much. You're overextended. How am I going to get these things done? You're not resting well. You're just skipping a few meals, and that stress. You know, our immune system is pretty subject to stress. And next thing you know, it's flu season. It's all of the ailments that come out in the winter. Next thing you know, you're getting down physically.
And this brings on perhaps depression in some people?
Some people can be depressed. You know, it's interesting that people, in general, generally speaking, the holidays are a time that people really try to rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
Our expectations are such, we anticipate it for so long, we so much enjoy the holidays, there's so much good to enjoy. But it's after the holidays, when it's all said and done, the tree's gone, the tinsel's put away, then you have to wonder, well, did I overshoot my expectations? Am I disappointed? It didn't turn out like I wanted?
Yeah.
There can be some doubts if you try to overshoot the holidays. So just be realistic about what you want to do, have some plans, think about it, talk about it, and then try to enjoy the holidays.
Try to enjoy the holidays. Well, and let's say if people are actually trying to enjoy the holidays, but what if they all of a sudden fall into a slump and they become depressed about it and they're not aware of it? Does that ever happen when people are depressed and not aware that they're even depressed?
And that's an important thing for those of us that are around other folks to not to hesitate to mention your observation. Hey, you seem a little down today. How about let's go get a cup of coffee? You want to talk a while?
Yeah.
Reach out to each other. And some folks will say, "Boy, he seemed in a bad mood. He seemed down. And I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to say anything. Maybe you just upset him. He's not one that you can really say much." Go ahead and take your chances. Go ahead and make an observation. Hey, you all right? You seem like you're dragging your feet a little today.
So if he bites your head off, then you know exactly where you stand.
Then you know you were right. You hit a soft spot, didn't you? Right. But go ahead and take those chances. You can apologize for it later.
Right.
And it may be, but reaching out to other people is an important bit of generosity of the holidays, so to speak. It's consistent with the holidays, is to reach out to other people. Yeah. And so when we notice somebody's mood, some of their feelings are a little down, go ahead and reach out to them. Go call on them. Maybe make a phone call or text them or email them or whatever we do these days. And reach out a little bit.
All right. Wow. Boy, I'll tell you what, the time has just moved right on here, Steve.
And the holidays will too.
The holidays will as well, and then
they
we get
will
to do it all over again next year.
That's right. It comes quick.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's always great to have you in here.
You bet.
Our friend, the head of psychology at Cherry Hospital, is Dr. Stephen Peters, and thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you too.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Today is Monday, all right, and wow, it was cold over the weekend.
It was very cold.
Chilly weather, but you know, this is the late fall. Winter will be arriving. In fact, we're beyond midway. Winter will be arriving, and let's see, today's what, the 23rd?
23rd.
In less than a month.
Yeah.
We're 2/3 of the way through fall. Winter arrives December 21st, just before Christmas, and then it's official, but between now and then it's going to get a bit chillier. It was cold over the weekend, and I say cold is a relative term. We got into the below freezing,
right.
And wow. So it's chilly today, but it's going to warm up a little bit. It was a beautiful weekend.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely gorgeous. But that said, tomorrow night is the big night when we swip the flitch, downtown Goldsboro. What was that?
Flip this way.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. What you said, downtown Goldsboro, and then so there's going to be several businesses that will be open.
Yes.
Some of the restaurants will be open. The Habitat for Humanity Restore will be open tomorrow night.
Wonderful.
For shoppers to go in and just kind of browse around. And I'll tell you what, if you're looking for something, you'll find it at the Restore. They have everything.
We are very fortunate to have a great Restore doing great things.
Matt Whittle was in the other day. We talked about that. Also, on that tomorrow night, of course, we have the North Carolina Symphony in town at the Paramount Theater. So what a great night.
It is a great night. There's going to be a lot going on, so if you say there's nothing going on in Wayne County, you are wrong.
That's right.
You are wrong.
That's right. Pooh.
Pooh.
Pooh. We have some stuff here. Okay, here's one. Try this. Wayne County Services on Aging and the Goldsboro Parks and Recreation Department partnering to offer a Christmas open house at the Seeger Senior Center on December 2nd, which is kind of like very soon.
Soon.
Yeah, that's Saturday. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's this week. Soon.
Yes.
Next week.
Next week.
It's next week. Anyway, whatever December 2nd is, that's the day. From 2 o'clock until 5 o'clock, DJ Wildheart providing entertainment. And boy, does she do a good job. Great job. Refreshments and door prizes will be offered, and you can come and enjoy and cheer. The public is welcome. It's open regardless of your age. If you're just a youngster in your 50s, then you can still go and have a good time, or anything below that for that matter. But it's open to the public, 2 until 5 p.m. at the Peggy M. Seeger Senior Center at 2001 East Ash Street, Goldsboro. All right. Okay. Let's see. I wanted to mention this as well. Today's the 23rd. Oh,
I'm nervous when you do that.
eat a cranberry day. Oh, boy. Okay, it's
Do you
also...
like cranberries?
Huh?
Do you like cranberries?
No.
Yeah, no.
But eat one, because today's the day. If you're going to eat a cranberry, today's the day to do it. Okay, and furthermore, today is also National Cashew Day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, you like cashews?
I do.
I always thought a cashew was a sneeze. Cashew, you know? But it's not. It's actually something that's very tasty.
Quite delicious.
I love cashews. If they just didn't have so much bad stuff in them.
Yeah.
But you look past that.
Yeah, you
okay?
look past that.
Yeah, I love
In
cashews.
moderation.
Yes. And tomorrow is another day.
Tomorrow's another day.
Birthdays for today. We have Jerry Van Dorn. He was on One Life to Live. He played the character Clint Buchanan. He's 66 today. Sally Richardson was in the movie Gargoyles, Rude Awakening, Family Law. Sally Richardson's 48. Snooki, you know what Snooki is? Snooki was some personality somewhere on something. Anyway, she was on The View, Live with Kelly and what's his name? Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snooki. She's not a very good role model.
No, she's not. Dancing with the Stars. She's still not a good role model. She's 28 today, but she'll learn eventually. She'll grow up.
Grow up, Snooki.
We got to do this tomorrow and
Yeah.
tell somebody else to grow up, okay? We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m., and then again at noon, then again at 5:30. And until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kate Daniels.
And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you.